Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, back using another oldie but goodie stamp set that I actually just used not too long ago, and it's back in stock this time, so I'll have links like I do. I'm also using this Brutus Monroe stick and stamp mat. This came out a couple months ago, I think. I'd ordered it and it's just been sitting here, so I thought it was time to use it. It's just got a non-permanent stick to it, so it just holds your cardstock in place. You can use it for ink blending, all sorts of things. I put it in my MISTI to hold my cardstock in place because I'm using this huge stamp from the Wildflowers stamp set. So I've got everything positioned, and then I want to ink this stamp up with multiple colors. I have shown in other videos with this exact stamp, and I will link to my playlist because this is like the 10th time. I think it's the 10th video that I've done using this set because I love it. Anyway, I've shown other ways, usually using my ink blending tools. That gives you a much more intense coloring. But in a recent video, I did this with the Brayer, and I did it to ink up some sentiments for the inside of my card. And I loved how I got this really smooth, soft transition. And it immediately got me thinking, I was like, ooh, how would this look with larger images? So this is what I'm doing. So I smushed my inks, my Distress Oxide inks, onto a non-stick craft sheet, just using the edge of the ink pads like I showed. And then I rolled my Brayer into it. And then I transferred the ink from the Brayer onto the stamp, stamped it onto this cardstock. And my first combo is Saltwater Taffy, dried marigold, and bundled sage, which is like a gorgeous combo. I want to do this like ink blended because I think it's so soft and spring and pretty. But I found that the bundled sage was just too light on the bottom of this for my tastes. So I wanted to darken it. So because I'd use that stamp and stick mat, everything's like in place, not moving. It's great, so I can just restamp everything. So all I did was kind of re-ink my craft sheet with that Saltwater Taffy and the dried marigold, but this time I added peeled paint oxide ink to the bottom portion, and that was kind of the perfect combo. It was just a bit, deeper of a green. So I rolled my Brayer in that. I haven't cleaned my Brayer, not worried about it. Rolled it in there, rolled it on this stamp, and then stamped it yet again. And then this time that was like, it gave me enough of the color, and yet everything is still soft. I'm obsessed with Saltwater Taffy. Obsessed. I love this color. But like I said, it doesn't matter what new distress color comes out. I'm going to love it. This one though just makes me happy. So I think I've said that about every single one that's been released. But anywho, I stamped it. And then this, because again, this mat is like brand new, so it is sticky. I found just kind of curving the mat. I'm not like bending it, but just curving it helped remove this panel from the mat. And then I'm going to put the mat right back into my MISTI here while the stamp is still here and inked up everything. And I'm putting my card base, lining it up against that line on the mat. So that'll be held in place. And I didn't bother like re-inking the non-stick mat or the Brayer. I just used what ink was left on the Brayer, rolled that over the stamp, and then stamped that onto what will be the inside of my card. And that was just perfect as well. Like this stamp set, I love it. I have used this so many times. And every time I love it. I love it. So removed my card base from the mat. I'm working, it doesn't look like it, but I am being careful so I don't tear anything. And then all I did was wipe off the little bit of ink I got on the mat. And then for me, I'm not going to leave it in my MISTI because I'm always, doing different things. So I just put the little plastic release sheet that came with it back on it, stuck it back in the packaging, and then I just keep it stored with my MISTI so that when I want to use it, it's there. So after I had done all that, I die cut some smooth white cardstock with the Here For You wafer die from Simon. And I'm only inking this up with the Saltwater Taffy and then the peeled paint Distress Oxide inks. I left out the dried marigold because I want to use my Distress embossing glaze, and there isn't an embossing glaze in dried marigold. So there was no point. And with this, you could skip the inking step. The embossing glazes are somewhat transparent, but they're obviously tinted those colors. So you could skip the step and just clear, like ink up the sentiment with like Versamark ink or the dauber that I'm going to show in a second, or dapper. I'm going to show it in a second. Because I was using Oxide inks and they do take longer to dry, I thought I would have enough time to add the embossing glaze. So I created a little handle with just a scrap of cardstock and my Simon dot runner. That's just to hold the die cut in place so I'm not going to burn my fingers. And I poured those embossing glazes over the coordinating colors. So I had peeled paint and saltwater taffy. And I knew immediately, like they barely stuck, like the ink dried way faster than I thought, because also it's like drying in my crafty garage here. So things do dry pretty quickly. But I melted what was on there, and then I grabbed my Distress embossing dabber. I bought this forever ago, whatever Tim Holtz video I was watching that it was like, I need this in my life. And then I forget. But you could use like a Versamark ink pad, clear embossing ink pad, same thing. You could just press that onto the sentiment. I really like the dabber though for things like this. This was the first time I used it, but I was like, ooh, this is convenient. Like, so now it's going to sit on my desk so I don't forget that I own it. So I put the dabber on the sentiment, poured those embossing glazes again over top of it, melted it with my heat tool, and now I've got a fully embossed, glazed, fabulous little sentiment here. So I'd use my little coffee filters, separate ones for each color, so I didn't mix these two colors together, especially these two colors, because once embossing powders are mixed, you know, they're basically trash. You could keep a mix, I guess, in another container. More often than not, especially colors like this, it's just going to turn to sludge. But anyway, I funneled the colors back in the container, put the lids on so I don't knock them over. And then with any type of like die cut, when I create a handle like this to hold them to heat emboss, when you remove the die cut from the little handle, you can't really see it in the video, but there's little edges of the embossing powder that's stuck, you know, to the handle, to the edges of the die cuts. And they're a little bit unsightly. They're a little sharp. All I do is just carefully kind of blast it with my heat tool, and that melts those little bits, and they just kind of cling to the edge and they basically disappear. So I was just really careful with it so I'm not burning my fingers. I don't want to press my fingers into, you know, melted embossing powder, because I'm sure that would not be a pleasant experience. But just quickly hitting it with my heat tool, it just softens the little edges and it's good to go. So after I had done that, I die cut a couple more layers from just white cardstock, and I'm adding craft tacky glue. This is the bottle I have that has the fine tip applicator. I have 2 bottles of craft tacky glue. One I call my regular bottle, just as is, and then this one with the fine tip applicator, which I always link to next to the glue. And then I've been asked that lately. I keep a pin in mine, just, you know, one of those little sewing pins. It's a little stainless steel one that doesn't rust. I keep that pin in this fine tip applicator 24/7. I've been using this like this for, I don't even know how long now. Months? A year? It's been a long time, you know, no problems. And it works just great. So I use that for all my finer detail, finicky little pieces when I'm adhering. So I did all that. And then I die cut my main panel with a rectangle wafer die. And then I die cut a piece of white cardstock with just a slightly larger rectangle wafer die. And I ink blended that Saltwater Taffy Oxide ink just around the edges, because you're not going to see the rest of it, so there's no point. And I actually just worked right on top of the stamp packaging because it was there. It was convenient, whatever works. And then because I can just wipe off the excess ink, you know, I'm good to go. So I set that aside to let it dry. And then for my little like companion sentiment to this die cut, I have the CZ Design Well Wishes stamp set that coordinates. And I have the sentiment, but I didn't want it on 2 lines. Now you could do masking and fiddling and all that to get it sent. I do not have the patience. I used to do that, you know, way back in the day. I don't have the patience for that. So I just cut my stamp apart. Doesn't hurt it. I can still use it the way it was intended, you know, butt it up against each other the way it's supposed to be and stamp it again. But cutting it apart, I get more use out of it. So that's what I did so that I could stamp it in one line along the bottom of my card front. So then I lined it up in my MISTI to make sure it was straight. And then I'm going to ink it up with that peeled paint Distress Oxide ink. And this is where you can really see how using the Brayer gives you just that much softer impression, because just stamping the stamp once with that same ink, you can see how much more intense it is. So options. If you want just a really nice soft, even with more intense colors, you want a more softer, smooth blend, do the Brayer and craft sheet trick that I showed earlier, which I'm going to be doing more of because it's fun. And I don't know, there's something really satisfying playing with Brayers, you know? Anyway, I put my card base back in my MISTI, and I took another sentiment from that Well Wishes stamp set. And this one I'm inking up with the Saltwater Taffy Distress Oxide ink. And I'm going to ink that up and stamp it a couple times just to make it a little more intense so that it is a bit more legible on top of these florals. And then after I've got that stamped, I can adhere my panels together with craft tacky glue. And then I'll adhere my sentiment with the craft tacky glue with the fine tip, because that way I can, you know, get in there and do my thing. So got that adhered, and yeah, there's my little pin, and you can see it's not rusted. It's just been fine, you know, although I do keep it stored upright as well. So it's not like it's like sitting in glue. You know, anyway, I also pulled out like I use this all the time, the Flickering Butterflies Wafer Dies and Lawn Fawn's Pearlescent Vellum. FYI, this vellum is in stock. Most of the time I use this vellum and show it in a video, it's not in stock because it's amazing. I have multiple packs of it, and it's just... And pretty much almost every video when I use this stamp set, I use these butterflies and Lawn Fawn Pearlescent Vellum. I'm like a broken record. I can't help myself. They're beautiful. So I adhered those with just little dabs of craft tacky glue. And I also added bling. I meant to mention as well throughout this video, like this is about as clean and simple as I can get. I can't even explain how difficult and how time consuming it is for me to make clean and simple cards for a video, because you just gotta do it. It's like I need 15 layers and splatter and bling and, you know, pearlescent vellum and pearls and da-da-da-da. So yeah, I tried, but this is my version of clean and simple. So anywho, I pulled some pearls from my stash. There's some Studio Caudia rose pink pearls that are very close to Saltwater Taffy colors, so they were just meant to be. So I added some of those. You can see the shimmer on that vellum and the gloss on the sentiment, and it's just a very soft, you know, soft and spring, and just, I love it. I love these colors. And anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, I will have links below the video to my blog post. I'll have a supply list. I'll link to everything I used, so you can check that out below if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribing, thumbs upping, commenting. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.